Well, true, they are cute and cuddly and can provide hours of wildlife enjoyment. But more often than not, beavers can be a farmer's worst nightmare.
Yeah, the damage they cause is endless. In fact, Ranger Nick introduces us to a farmer from South Georgia who was nearly brought to his wits' end by beavers.
Hey everybody, so great to be back with you. You know, I'm standing next to Mr. Bill Worthington, who a few months ago joined us for our Purple Martin or Martini show that we did together, and we appreciate y'all watching. You know, I mentioned beavers at the start of the show, and most of us think about beaver damage looking kind of like this, a gnarly looking point to the top of a tree that a beaver has gnawed. Most of the time, Bill, they don't think about a line of trees and the ground looking like it does here. Bill, talk to me about how you knew that this was beaver related.
Well, we came out here and we, of course, first noticed the tree damage, but then we started noticing cave-ins.
Yeah.
And the county came along and they had tunneled almost to the road, to the blacktop.
Look at this, and you can see it. The ground is all just hills and little caves, and it goes out beyond the fence and almost up to the road. Can you imagine, Bill, you were talking about the highway department came out here and started probing into the road to determine if those beavers had tunneled underneath the road. Is that right?
That's correct. They were afraid that a truck had come along, fall in a big hole under the road.
And Bill, you have a lot of cattle out here on your property in South Georgia, and I can't imagine if the beavers were in this area doing this to the ground, that couldn't be a good thing for your cows.
Well, cows fall in a hole, they could possibly break a leg.
Absolutely. I want to talk about some of the things that we can do about beavers and controlling those beavers. Obviously, some people think about bounties and harvesting those beavers. Others think about putting fencing kind of around trees if you don't have that many trees. Bill, what was something that you did out here to control for these guys and keep them from digging perhaps further and near the road?
Well, we have electric fence to keep the cattle in anyway, so we just ran some kind of extra wire off, and when the beavers hit the wire, they get shocked. They don't come back, hopefully.
Yeah, that's no shocker at all that a beaver would hit that, get a jolt, and decide not to be around it anymore. Absolutely. Just a beautiful piece of property, and something that I want the folks to be aware of. These are animals that are out there doing their thing. They come into contact with us, and here's a landowner that's doing something about that humanely and being able to take care of these guys and live, I guess, in harmony with them. So, excellent, Bill. Well, Bill and I were just on our way to another beaver dam right up the hill here and had to stop for Georgia's state reptile. Take a look at the little lady that we found over here. Look at this. Bill, check it out. This little thing, this is Georgia's state reptile. This is a harmless gopher tortoise. Look at her, and let's just get a quick look at her little face. Come here. This is a gopher tortoise. And I want to talk about it. She's actually a female. Males, you see her little collar underneath of her head there. Males have a much longer collar that sticks out under their head. So this is a little lady. If I had to take a guess, I'd imagine she's probably between 15, maybe 20 years old. They can live in excess of 50 years. And I tell you, this is Georgia state reptile, and it's a keystone species. Bill, this turtle, I'm not sure if you know how important this turtle is out here on your land. Without this turtle, other populations of wildlife would be severely impacted. This thing is called a keystone species. Just like a stone along an archway at the center of an archway, removing that stone, the other stones fall in and collapse. Removing this turtle from an ecosystem like this grassland here, we would impact so many other animals because, Bill, you use fire and others use fire out here to control vegetation. Is that right?
Yes, we burn the pastures off every spring.
I mean, and that's a wonderful thing to do, but there are so many animals that rely on the gopher tortoise because just like a gopher, they dig into the ground, they burrow into the ground, and during those fires, those little animals, I'm talking snakes, other turtles, small rodents and things, small mammals, get into those burrows and let the fire pass over top of them. A critical species, a protected species, the gopher tortoise. I tell you, I want to go for more information all the time about special reptiles like this. What a beauty. And I tell you, look at the thickness of her front legs. That's how she defends herself. Unlike a box turtle who would enclose itself, she'll put up her arms and defend herself from harm. Folks, Ranger Nick out here with Bill in South Georgia. I so much appreciate you watching us. Keep me up to date on Twitter at RangerNickUGA, and keep those emails coming, rangernickuga@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bill, thank you so much for being out here with us. And to this little lady, I hope you keep chomping away at all that grass. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.